So,
Hey,
welcome
thanks, guys.
everybody. Yeah, welcome everybody to the Hammerdown Trucks here on this Saturday evening. And this will be the first race of the playoffs for the trucks. So, without further ado, we'll get going. And it is the beginning of it all. It is upon us, as the quest for a truck championship starts here. Will a playoff driver get that win to punch a ticket to the round of 12, or will a non-championship contender throw a hammer down through the field? So we'll see who has that screaming hunk of truck and peak performance as we start the Hammerdown Racing Series path to the Truck Championship tonight, as we take on the mighty and fast Chicagoland Speedway for the Camping World 225. This is a 200-lap spectacle that has all the fixings to be a good one. I, B-New Stu, will be leading the call on this one, with Jinx and Visual Killer chatting alongside me. Stay tuned for analysis, picks, and track chat prior to the green right here on the Hammerdown Racing Series YouTube channel. Okay, guys, so tonight is race number 1 from Chicagoland, and I guess really let's kind of get into a little bit of
I'm a big fan of a track like Chicago being one of the tracks that starts off the playoffs. You know, it's fast, and it's not one of those tracks that is, truly difficult or tough on tires, like a Charlotte or a Texas.
I like this track. One of the things I like to look for is who can keep control of that car through a whole run, because we all know that your truck can get a little squirrely coming at it too when you're about 5, 10, 15 laps into a run. It's one of those ones where you'll start off loose, get tight, and then you'll get right back loose again. And you're gonna see a couple cars going down low coming at it too. It's just hopefully they're not gonna collect anybody when they do it.
I see. Well, I was going to say that I feel like it's going to be really interesting about the first 10 to 15 laps, especially if we stay green, because I feel like most of these drivers are going to be running that slider all the way loose, and it's still tight out there until you go in there and get those adjustments.
Still very, very tough. It's going to be a lot of. There's got to be a lot of give and take at the start until these trucks can get down pit road and change the air pressures that they've been working on throughout the week in practice. Everybody out there is going to be dealing with a very tight truck, and hoping we see a really good clean start here, and everybody understands that they're going to be dealing with a tight package at the beginning, and gives plenty of room here.
Well, speaking of how this track is going to handle, let's get into a little facts about it. So the location is in Juliet, Illinois, even though it is called Chicagoland Speedway. That is very close to there that I know of. The capacity is 40.
I think it's about 30 miles south.
Yeah, it's not very far from Chicago. And the capacity of this racetrack is 47,000, built on September 28th of 1999 and opened in July of 2001, with a construction cost of $130 million. The surface is asphalt, and the length, as of right now, is 1.5 miles.
Hey, Stu, or Jinx, you know who actually won that first Cup Series race there in '01?
Oh God, I'm gonna go
Kevin Harvick.
Yep, that was Kevin Harvick.
I was gonna say Gordon
with the white 20. Well, it was actually him and Gordon racing at the end.
Yep.
It was in that white 29
car
with the tribute to the number 3 on it.
Yeah, it was the first win
shame.
after Earnhardt died for
It's
Harvick.
a shame, man, to see this track not going to be on the schedule next year.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yep, it is sad, and it got canceled because of COVID. The season before, yeah. But obviously, this is a 4-turn track with turns at 18 degrees and the front stretch of 11 degrees and the back stretch of 5 degrees. So, as we all know, we all raced there last night. It can be fast, loose, tight, and everything in between.
Turn 1 and 2 is usually pretty easy to get through. Most people can probably get through there wide open, or just a very,
there's
very
a lot
short
of space, a lot of space at the exit of turn 2 there.
Yeah, for turn 3 and 4 though, it's a little bit smaller, tighter of a turn, and if you're not careful and respectful of that turn, you can definitely get up into that wall pretty easily on the exit there.
For sure, and obviously this is a game, and they're on turn 4, about mid lane exit. There's a glitch that will throw you sideways. So that's also something to watch.
It's a random glitch, though.
Yeah, it happens and it doesn't.
10 laps. You'll go 10 laps, and then all of a sudden, boop.
Yeah.
Also, the one that's like almost halfway down the backstretch, right by that seam.
Yep. Especially if you're riding the wall.
Yep.
Yes.
One thing I've noticed too is running down that front stretch. If you're on old tires and you drop down to that apron right at the start-finish line, you can get real loose.
Oh yeah. Happened to me last night in the Cup race, and I almost lost her. I didn't expect it to be that squirrely down there. I think that was stage 1, actually.
As far as talking about the track goes, let's talk about who's actually going to be out there, as I'm going to go over the 16 drivers that are in this truck playoff path to the championship. All drivers that will be driving the test session scheme will be non-playoff drivers. Unlike last night in the Cup race, it was custom schemes, but we learned that that was a mistake. So
we understand, it's not as flashy and cool to look at for, people viewing the race, but we're trying to give you all the best content that we possibly can. And with just too many of these custom schemes running around the track, with 23, 25 guys, that's a lot of strain on this private server here, and it can lead to some lag issues and then just overall loss of quality. So,
and especially
with us in the playoffs with the test session.
Had to leave. Panda actually had to leave a couple times last night for the stream and get back in.
Well, there has been some shakeup in the 16 drivers. I believe we lost. Had Happy drop out and gave his spot up to Pigpen, I do believe.
That is not confirmed yet. I am working on that as we speak. I was not made aware of that decision, and I'm working to correct that because Happy did leave the truck chat after last night's race, but he did not leave the league. So I'm trying to figure out who gave authority to make that call, because as an owner, I do not want Happy out of the trucks. He won the season championship.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. Well,
there was a lot of tension and tempers going on last night, and we've gone through this before, and I think midway through this week things will be calmed down and we'll get a better idea of what's going on. Just really hate to see Happy miss his first race in the trucks, in the playoffs.
Yeah, these truck races, they get a little hectic. Based on what I've witnessed over these past couple streams and towards these races, they tend to get, it's kind of like a boring single file racing till about halfway through stage 2. Then it starts to ramp up a little bit, and that's when, as we all know, tempers are going to flare and mistakes are going to be made.
Yeah, that's last night was a coin flip right there, because that stage 1 was amazing, great racing. And then it seemed like about halfway through stage 2, we just kind of lost control of the lobby. And I think we'll be a little bit more under control tonight in these trucks. It seems like a lot more people showed up for the truck practice and the qualifying and everything. So.
Yeah, and people get out there, nerves get the best of them and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we've heard from Scoop before that he still gets nervous every single race he runs in this group, and we obviously see how much talent he has as a racer, and nerves are affecting him. You can only imagine what it's like for everybody else out there as well.
Right, and Scoop is like one of the top guys in the Cup Series, so for somebody like that to still have nerves about him, that's you can, like you said, can only speak for the rest of us. So. But we'll get back to these 16 drivers. I do know that Silence Killa is out due to him dropping out of the trucks to gain a Cup ride. So Pigpen is going to take his position. We're still unsure about Happy's. There was a little misinformation there. But without further ado, we will start with the person. Well, it's not really the first person. We have a tie between the top 4 at 1,004 points apiece, which are Wide Open in the 40 truck, Pyle in the 98, Travis in the 87, and Ditch in the 38. After that, we have 3 drivers tied at 1,002 points apiece, and those are Death in the 34, Scoop in the 33, and Bob Drew in the 8. Then after that, the rest of the field is tied at 1,000 points apiece. So this is a very important race for all these drivers, as 4 points separates all 16 drivers.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We have Happy in the 26, Twoon in the 3, and Sniper in the 8. That rounds up our top 10. And then we have Panda in the 17, Biker in the 13, Titanic in the 18, Lando in the 51, Woody in the 15, and rounding up the field is Pigpen in that 00. So there's your playoff drivers.
All right. We want to get into the qualifying positions
give
for
us the
the
field.
start of this race. All right. So in row 1 on the pole, we actually have newcomer in his second race in the trucks ever, B-Stats. And tell you what, I think this guy could give the field a challenge here tonight. And second, right beside him, we have Death, real fast in that qualifying run too. Row 2 going into that, we're going to have King Pile bringing up the Happy. He's not running, or?
It's a contingent right now, so just leave him in there.
We'll just say he is.
On the outside is going to be Bob Drew. And on the inside of row 4, we have Titanic Joe. And the outside is Killer Sean John. Row 5 on the inside, we have Sniper. And on the outside, we have Scoop. Row 6 on the inside is going to be Travis. And on the outside is Punk Panda. On the inside of row 7, we have Bad Biker. And on the outside, Collins Racing. On the inside of row 8, we have Ditch 304 and Silver Bullet. Row 9, starting on the inside, is Dodge Ram with Pigpen on the outside. And for all the people that showed up for qualifying, on the inside of row 10 is James Snow. And on the outside and back is just open for whoever shows up tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot of people couldn't qualify. So instead of like trying to pinpoint, and we usually during the season we would do a random draw and they would just get put in randomly. But with all the new people that haven't shown and haven't qualified, I'm just going to make it a mass invite, and then you get in where you get in.
Okay.
Yep. Who do you guys like tonight? You got a favorite, a dark horse? How are you feeling about this?
I believe I'm going to go with King Pile. I believe he's going to punch that ticket into the round of 12 tonight.
All right. I mean, that's a smart pick. I mean, he won last week at Auto Club. Just really smart racing on his part overall. He let those, couple 3 up front get to Jocelyn for position, and then he had an excellent crossover and ended up running away with it. I'd say King Pile is always a safe pick here in the Truck Series. What about you, Jinx?
I'm gonna go with the season 1 champ. I'm gonna go with Mr. Twoon.
Mr. Twoon. That's another safe pick here in the trucks. Seems like he shows up and runs, top 10, top 5s every single race of the year.
Yeah, and he's due. I mean, he won the championship last season. Hasn't had a win this season, but he's been up front running close to it. And then he always gets something gets him, like stage 2, stage 3.
Bad luck has to wear off at some point.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, perfect example is his brother Titanic. Titanic had a rough start to the season, but last, I'd say about 5 races, he's actually gotten out of that bad rut, and he's actually had some really good runs.
Yeah, I've noticed that he's started having some pretty good finishes here as of late. I believe he had a top 10 last week at Auto Club, correct?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. For me, I like both y'all's picks, but I really think we're going to see a strong showing out of Death tonight. I think with as fast as he was last night in the Cup, for so long, I think with him starting outside pole here, he's got a really good shot to, kind of keep control of his race and take it at his pace and be there at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
I do like B-Stats, though. I do like him as my dark horse.
And I do believe, I just wanted to get in here and say, I do believe that I have the comments turned off that you can see on the stream. And I just did that out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah, after what we had going on last night.
Yeah, so unfortunately I'm sorry that we can't see your comments on the stream as we're racing, but...
Yeah, I'll pull them up on my phone. That way I can
Yeah, and we'll
Check it out.
we'll get Jinx to shout you guys out if you have a message for one of the drivers out there or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
Also,
unfortunately, we got to figure out why the stupid messages, those stupid whatever they're called.
The little bot accounts. I don't even know how
Yep.
they're able to get in there and comment.
I report
on
them.
these.
I mean, I report them every week. Like when I found out they were doing it last night, I had to call my wife in from the bedroom and say, "Hey, report these peep things." So she went in and
Right.
actually reported them while I was racing because we don't want to see that, and I don't understand why they keep
Yeah,
popping up.
yeah. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody has time for that.
okay, so we're starting to get invites. We're going to wait for the beginning of this race, and but this is our first race back from after Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody, our American audience, had a great Thanksgiving. And if you're Canadian and celebrate that, well, thank you.
I tell you what, man. If you look on the stream, man, Travis has like a group of fans that like watch him every week.
That's great. That's what we need. I'm glad you guys are here. Then we got Punk Panda in here right now saying hello, guys. Should be a fun race.
It's gonna this is gonna be
absolutely.
real fun. It's really good to have Panda back on a weekly basis. I know he missed quite a few weeks having to work out of state and stuff like that. Still showed up every Friday to do the Cup broadcast, so it's good to see him back in a truck, not having to worry about a substitute driver.
Yeah, really happy that he does, show up and do that.
So, I was just wondering, who can I watch on here?
I don't know. I'm not sure if Wide Open is streaming. Let me see if he is. Let's get it back. Subscriptions. Alright. So I do not believe he is streaming. So
Hey,
I
gentlemen in
don't
the booth, I had to step away for a second. Go ahead and just shout out to me whenever I need to join into the race.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do not believe we have a streamer for tonight.
A live action shot.
Yeah.
That's
So
unfortunate.
I'm
Well-
going through all my subscriptions because if they've said they've streamed, I'd subscribe to it. So let me see.
Awesome.
Does anybody know if Beast?
He doesn't, I don't think.
The two guys that we usually watched on race nights. So
Hopefully we can get a heads up whenever this is counted down. Hopefully.
Alright, anyone streaming?
Someone let us know, please. Don't want to join too early. I'd be in the back of the field trying to race and announce. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Alright, I made sure they know we need a go message.
Yeah, also hope we don't miss this green
Lando.
flag here.
Yeah, I don't want to miss that. So, what is Lando's YouTube?
Alright. Alright, Lando, what's your YouTube?
So, obviously not started or not went in yet, so that's good.
So we'll get Lando's. You'll be able to get Lando's. So you'll watch Lando's stream, and I will be watching. Oh, he just messaged it to me. So hold on. Here we go. Okay. It's literally Lando. Type in capital Lando.
You gotta like that, short, sweet, straight to the point.
Yep. That's why it's funny because every time I comment on the Cup Series broadcast, it says the commenter name is Hammerdown Racing Series. It doesn't say Jinx.
I found a Lando, but I don't think that's him.
Let me see. Should just have an L on it.
No, that's not him.
Alright, hold on. I'll do it this way.
Send me a link, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. Messages.
This guy had 16,000
That was-
subscribers. Lando, you that
Yeah,
famous?
that's not Lando. So, this is how we do. We coordinate teamwork. Alright. There it is.
90 seconds and rolling, he says. L for
Yeah, somebody said
Lando.
he'd be back in 90 seconds.
Okay, we just got a late announcement that James Snow will not be running tonight. He just sent that to the group.
Alrighty.
So that means the 20th position all back now is going to be open to those who had to miss
Well,
qualifying.
I think Woody didn't qualify, so Woody was one of those guys who was able to jump in.
Okay.
So, from my experience from last night, the back of the pack is not fun on restart, so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys...
I mean, with how close these, trucks are going to be the entire time on these sliders in that first stage, I expect to see battles for P1 all the way through last.
And for me, it's like when I do my keys to victory and stuff like that, my biggest key for victory is, track awareness. Like, know who's around you, know what's around you, know who's behind you, know who's, how much room you got. Like, you think it's easy, but it's not. To know if you got room on the inside or room on the outside and who's there, because if you're running a certain view, because I run the roof cam and I can't see to the sides of me.
Yeah, I would have always liked to take an advantage of some, more of those cooler, views you can have. Like inside the car would be a cool one, but you just have so much blind spots that it's just going to be difficult to see. So I ended up reverting to like the third person close up.
Yeah, I can't do the third person because my setups on the cup side tend to run a little loose, and I don't react to the looseness because I can't see the rear end kicking. But if
Join, guys.
have issues.
All right. We're going to be getting in this truck lobby now.
All right, so I'm loading in, and as we get in here to get to green, we want to welcome everybody into the chat tonight. It's me, Jinx, and Visceral Killer. We're all three Cup guys. You're familiar with me and Jinx, but Visceral is a new addition to the booth. He's doing quite well. And I misspoke earlier.
A new addition to the Cup Series.
That's true. And I misspoke earlier and said this was a 200 lap race, but it's actually 150 stages in on 39, 70, and 150, I do believe. So as we come up,
stage is going to be a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're coming up to green. Somebody is kind of off the track. I don't know what's going on there. But here we are. We're taking off from Chicagoland, race number 1, and Beast will take us across the line in that 34 truck. And we'll just follow the front of the field here.
Looks like he really got a good jump there going straight down onto the apron almost immediately once the green flag hit.
Yeah, the inside line on
really
restarts is where you want to be.
We are already 3 wide for 2 lanes here coming through the back stretch. We got some shifting going on, but I believe they've gotten it lined out as Beast will take us down into 3 and 4 and back around to the line.
3-4 wide right here. They're really bunched up. I'm watching Death right now, and he got unlucky there. He got pushed up high, and it looks like he got pushed back 7 or 8 positions now.
About to make a move for the lead.
We have Titanic on the rear end of the 34 there, but he doesn't get quite to him there in the corner. But this group is going to suck right up to the back of that Chevrolet 34 as they come into turn number 3 here.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed too is the draft effect with these trucks is not as big as you'd think it would be because they don't carry enough speed to actually make that draft actually effective.
Yeah. They're just so rear end heavy too, and with those big spoilers, you would think they'd get more draft because they'd be moving around so much air, but it's just not the case.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to be like right on somebody's bumper in like a 3-4 car line to even feel like the draft effect that you would with a 2-car draft at a Cup Series or something.
Some early noticeable changes to the race. We got Sniper up to 3rd now, and he's got Scoop right behind him. We had
Sniper
Death
trying to sweep the weekend.
Yeah, we had Death drop back from outside pole, and then Killer Sean all the way back to last right now. I wonder if he got tangled up in an issue there.
It's a good possibility. So we have a good pack behind
Bob
Beast
Drew.
Stats here.
Yeah, Bob Drew giving Scoop an amazing push. He might be going for a early lead here.
We are 3 by 2 here behind the leader. they can't seem to catch him. He keeps putting a gap between him and the rest. I believe Scoop's going to try to make a move here when he's getting that good push off Bob Drew here going into turn 1 and 2. We'll watch right here on the back straightaway how that works out for them. But Beast Stats is just zooming around here to begin this race. Makes you wonder, would he even adjust in the pits, or when he does, what that's going to do for him.
Yeah. You got a nice little battle with Panda and Twoon for looking to be maybe 7th or 8th.
Yeah, it looks like 7th, 8th, maybe 9th. Actually, that's going to be a 3-car or 3-truck battle here too, with the number 40 getting joined in too.
Yeah, we have
the 40.
Guys,
trying to learn all these truck numbers still.
I still don't know.
The 40 is wide open, so I believe wide open.
Yeah.
Not stream. Yeah. He's just going to capture video. So that's what he did last night. That's probably why I couldn't see his stream up.
He's going for a pass right there on Twoon. It looks like he should clear him out of the turn.
Yeah, the inside line at this track is just it takes so long. You have to have your truck set up right to make that outside line even competitive for the most part.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to even, usually you get up on that high side, especially on restarts, you're losing, maybe up to 10 positions.
So I'm on board with 18 of Titanic Joe here, as he has a pretty good pack of 4 trucks running in front of him and the 20.
Yeah, Death is going for that pass on him.
But we have it 3 wide here on Scoop. Wide. Going back to the line, it's door to door, the 18 and the 33. There. He's got Scoop up against the wall. And Scoop is going to gain control and not lose much there, as he'll fall back in behind those. That pack of cars.
For Titanic to be in. He was 3 wide. Death kind of bumped him a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
we're probably 7 laps in now. Tires are starting to really get warm and lose traction, and that's a bad place to be in the middle, without knowing what these trucks are going to do yet.
Yeah, now these guys, one of the changes we made a couple weeks ago is the truck races went from 100% times 3 to 100% times 2.
Okay.
So a little more control. A little bit more fuel runs. Because we had a couple races where, it was a 167 lap race and they were pitting every 13 laps.
So I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to start back up here at B-Stats and just go through the field, as we got B-Stats obviously out there and a commanding lead, honestly. He is just pulling away from this field since the beginning of this race. And we got Death Before Dishonor in that 20 truck, and a good line of drivers there, not far behind the leader. Even with this pack of 4 here, they can't seem to get it together and catch Beast Stats running out front here.
Scoop's actually caught up and got that draft now, too. They're a 5-truck train right now, and I guess that clean air is just showing you how important that may end up being for this race, just being out front. Because, last night we saw in the Cup that if somebody's out front, it happened to me once or twice where I thought, I got a 3/10 of a second lead out here, and then 2 cars get hooked up behind me, and they're passing me, that next turn. And I don't know if that draft is really looking that strong here in the trucks.
Especially with this base tape on too. We got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, what do they start you at, like 30 or 35?
It's like 30 or 35, yeah.
Yeah, that's really low, so it kind of makes it hard to really suck up to the back of people here. I'm sure we'll be seeing people go up to 40, 45. Some of those people, being like Pyle, I know he makes big adjustments on that truck first pit. Well, I think he was up to 50% tape at one point.
This is where practice comes in a handle, because if you haven't practiced all week, you don't know how much tape to put on to where it doesn't overheat. And if you put too much on, you're going to be in trouble.
Oh, big trouble. Yeah, you're going to be losing 3-4 tenths a second, once that light comes on.
Practice. That's why these guys need to come into practice and, kind of experiment, see what they can and can't do with their trucks and what it does and doesn't do. That's why we run those weekly practices on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Absolutely. And it's not even just the tape thing that's an issue here, too. You're going to be going into that first pit not knowing what to do with your tires, and you could accidentally mess up and make that thing even tighter than it is right now.
So I think the biggest, I'm going to say right now, the biggest disadvantage, unless he already knows what he's going to do on his pit stop, is going to be Beast. Because he's running up front. He's not running around other guys, so he doesn't know how his truck really handles in traffic.
Right,
and he's not nobody's pushing the envelope with him. He's he thinks he's fast now because he's got nobody around him, but once these guys make those setups and adjustments, he may have some company.
It's hard to really tell, but it does look like Bob Drew, now in clean air of his own, might be cutting, a tenth off, maybe a lap.
Yeah.
He might, and that could be the push from those 4 trucks behind him.
Yeah,
so
he got away from them by about 2 or 3 tenths, it looks like.
So I will leave this front pack here, as it looks like they're kind of making up some asphalt between them and Beast Stats, the leader.
We got 23 at Collins Racing on pit road. Is that a lag issue or an early pit stop? Anybody have the update on that?
Not sure about that one. We just had the 99 make contact with the 33.
Yeah,
and
then
he went into the wall.
He did touch the wall. We have King Powell on deck here. He has touched the wall in that 98 truck. And
we kind of saw Pyle get a little squirrely last night in that first run, that first stage. I know he fell back a little bit, but, once he gets on pit road, that's where a guy like Pyle really shines. He's a wizard when it comes to making adjustments to these trucks, and I think we'll see a totally different race for him coming out of this first pit stop.
Yeah, the key with that is one of the biggest things you're going to want to look for in these races is track position. Do you want to play the track position game, or do you want to play the 4-tire game?
Look, we got Killer Sean trying to make a pass on the outside of Glad here. And I believe that's Lando right there behind them, too. This could be a 3-way battle here, heating up.
We got Death coming into pit road now.
All right, so it looks like we're starting to get pits already. Stu, you got a lap count for us?
Yeah, we are on lap 16, and we have Lando going around sideways into the pits, I believe. I don't know if anybody's seen that. I didn't have that on camera, but
got Dodge Ram Sport on pit road.
16, 17 laps in a fuel run.
Yeah, it's looking like. Well,
aren't we a little bit behind on the stream too? I think they're probably about 3 laps ahead of us.
No, it ain't that.
It's like a 30-second gap.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So about 17, 18 laps maybe if you're pushing it. It's looking like we lost Dodge Ram from the race.
I believe 1 can and 4 tires are going to do it here for most of these guys. Looks like a full fuel run might be 21 laps.
We got Bad Biker here now.
But
on 13 truck.
I'm on board here with King Powell, and it looks like him.
A lot of trucks coming in right now.
Looks like most of the field's coming down. I'm just going to float through the field here as Mr. Twoon in the 3 and Titanic Joe in the 18 as he makes himself around the track here.
That's looking like we have 3rd place through about 7th or 8th place. Looks like they all pit as a group right here. And you got to love the NASCAR, physics there as we see Scoop spin the 13 truck, and the 3 truck just absolutely missed his pit stall and hit that yellow barrier there.
So for anybody watching, when you see a truck diving down low on the backstretch, they are not loose. They are letting the people behind them know they are pitted.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up for people that maybe don't know our rules. Is Bob Drew still out there, or did he already come down?
I believe Bob Drew is still running. Bob Drew's probably going to stretch.
I think he's our leader right now.
Well, I'm on board with the 32 of Killer Sean as he's making his way out of pit road. And we got Sniper on board as he makes himself around the line here in that 99.
And be out in front now.
Scoop in the 33 is making himself down the front stretch. And now on board with the 87 of Travis as he makes himself through there.
Yeah, Travis
so once again, just
way hot. First 3 races, Travis won 2 of them, and then he's been looking for that 3rd win.
Yeah, he's a guy that could get it here tonight. I mean, he hasn't looked like he's been struggling at all. Just want to say once again, I'm not sure entirely what happened, but the 4 truck of Dodge Ram and the 23 truck of Collins seem to have maybe lost connection to the race or just left for a personal reason. Unsure at the moment what that is about.
Okay. So we've got Bob Drew coming back out on the track, and he is being passed by
Titanic and Sniper finally coming down to make their first round.
The 17 of Punt Panda out here in that beautiful Haley Deegan truck.
That 17 truck's got to be one of the better looking paint schemes.
Oh,
What I
no,
like about
Panda
it
is
so
up in the
much-
wall, but I believe he was just slowing himself down to let Bob Drew by to pit. So here we are on board with the 13 of Bad Biker as he makes himself, I believe this is turn 1 and 2?
I don't have the stream up, gentlemen, right now.
Or no, it was
Who
turn
is
3 and
currently
4.
leading the race?
Unsure at the moment. We got
If you look
I think it's
if
Bob
you watch
Drew.
Lando's stream, look at Lando's stream. He's a 51, and then you'll see another number highlighted. That'll be the leader.
Okay.
yeah, that is the 40 of Wide Open who is on pit road, or maybe yep, that is Wide Open on pit road. I'm actually watching him right now. He is coming out. He is still in the lead after all these trucks passing him. He is now coming through the off-access road around turn
So
number 2, back on the
Curious
track.
as to what he did here.
Wide Open
so-
is a sneaky person when it comes to saving fuel.
Yeah,
He will
I
stretch it to the
think
limit.
it looks like he might have done rights only and like a splash of fuel there. 'Cause,
Well, no, the lead has now changed. The Scoop is now in the lead, so Wide Open is probably not far behind that, I would say.
anybody have Scoop tonight?
Here is Scoop. He is racing with the pack. Beast Stats is here right with him. Also
And
the
Death.
20 of Death. And so we're going to sit here and watch this battle as we are 23 or 24 out of 35 laps. Come to the line for number 24, I do believe.
I
So
think
I'm
this
assuming
top
if Scoop is
three
in the
cluster.
lead, that's
Yeah,
a free
that's
cluster battle for the lead.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
this is a 3-person battle for the lead. I've got a
got
top
Bob
view
Drew.
here.
Bob Drew close to them as well.
So
They're
we got
running
the
side
20
by
of
side
Death.
back
He's
there.
pushing the issue. Kind of got Scoop loose down in the front stretch there, but he's came back and gave him the push. B-Stat's out there holding his own on the outside line. Oh no, Death has gotten
They
up and
touched a
gotten
little
into
bit.
him a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
touched a little bit.
But he slides
So,
right down in there to get that
just
air.
So everybody knows, Beast is not a playoff driver. He just did not get in his test session truck.
Which, to be fair, it kind of looks like a test session truck.
It does. I didn't even notice it until I actually saw the GMC sticker. I'm like, oh man.
Oh wow!
We
Bob
have Bob
Drew got
Drew
a
just
massive
came
run on these
up out
guys.
of
Yeah.
nowhere, yeah. And
He
we
gained a half second from the last lap.
have a 4-person battle for the lead here, and it's tight. It is bumper to bumper, or I should say tailgate to bumper, rather.
So this is what I was saying.
So we got
Beast
door
is running
banging
that
and stuff
far.
as Death is going to try to take the lead from Scoop going into turn number 1 here, and I believe that B-Stats is going to ride that hot air right on out of the turn, but they're going to
got
remain
Bob
side
Drew
by
pushing
side
down
on the
low.
exit.
He
So
wants
it's a
to follow
3.
these 2 trucks ahead of him.
Yes, it is a 3-truck
Oh,
battle against
Beast Stats
Scoop. But
on
Beast is
the
pushing
inside.
the issue. He's going to force Death up to work with Scoop as him and Bob Drew are going to go on the inside here into 3 and 4.
Oh,
Bob Drew
Bob
down
Drew
below.
looking.
Yeah, down below,
Oh,
but he scoops
looks
back
like,
up in position
maybe a tiny
here.
apron touch there.
So we have
These guys are a little
Death,
antsy right here.
Death and Scoop
made
here,
that
1
high
and
side
2
work-
now.
Worked there pretty well.
Yeah, the high side outdone the low side for once here. So maybe they did the setup to where they could run that high side, because I know Scoop has been running that mid line even in Cup.
So this is what
Yeah,
I was
he's-
saying. So Beast was running out front most of stage 1 and didn't have to really fight for position like this. So maybe he didn't make the adjustments he needed to run in a pack. So now he's starting.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to feel like what his truck runs around other trucks. Because as these guys are battling, here comes Travis and Twoon.
Yeah.
Make
These
this
guys
a
are
6-car
This is-
battle.
they're
yeah, this
losing
is
a
now-
lot of time racing each other.
I believe by the end of this stage we will have a 8-truck race for the lead, or at least for the top 8. It's going to be very, very tight here at the end of this stage. I believe we're coming around to
Is
around.
that Travis in the 87 pulled right up the Scoop?
So now Twoon's in the back of this pack, and I think Twoon's might just lay back a little bit, let these guys kind of beat and bang on each other, because he knows if somebody makes a mistake, he can capitalize on it as long as he's far enough back to avoid any kind of spinning.
So
tuck or,
it looks like Death
bouncing
is
off the
taking the Beast Stats approach here, and he said, "I'm just going to outrun the field as they fight for each other."
Oh,
It has been-
Twoon
Oh
pushed
no,
the
he's
Scoop
gotten
a
Beast
little bit.
Stats
Oh,
up into the
Beast
wall.
Stats
Beast Stats
in
is
the wall.
around.
That could be a caution. That could be a caution.
B-Stats is around here. Oh, he's up in the air. I've gotten that one on camera, boys. So, oh no. So B-Stats, I don't believe, is going to get the benefit of a caution here And he is just going to be out of luck back there as Death Before Dishonor continues his leading ways with Bob Drew close in tail, followed by Scoop, and I can't quite tell who's in that other truck at the moment.
So you got the 87 of Trav, the
That
3
Travis, yeah.
So this once 6-7 car race has now came down to 5 cars, and we have 2 close in tow behind. Don't know if they'll quite get there as we come around to the line for what I believe is 3
like Panda,
to go.
If y'all look over at Panda's truck, it looks like he's got some heavy damage. He might actually hit B-Stats there.
No, I don't believe they were together at that moment.
We're going to do a,
well, he
do
could
a
have hit
shout-out
him,
right
yeah.
now to big Brad Cunningham, loyal fan since race 1, commenting in on the stream. Brad is responsible for our merchandise, so big shout out to Brad. And he basically says, Toon can fight your whole family. So don't talk about Toon like that. But he has been a Scoop supporter most of the season, so he calls him Scoopy.
All right.
Also, it looks like we have Bob Drew has came up onto the bumper of the 20 of Death here as we come down into the final laps of stage number 1 here from Chicagoland, race number 1 in the truck playoffs. And Death is
how loose these guys are right now. How worn their tires are.
It looks like Bob Drew is just setting up Death to get that position whenever it comes down to the money. And
he might be going a little look here high.
So I believe we came around to the line there and picked up 2 to go, 3 or 2 to go there. And we are on board with 1 and 2 here as they are battling for it. 3, 4, 5, and 6 is still up for grabs as there's a whole pack of guys back there racing for that.
Brad said our voices are smooth as butter.
Thank you
Brad,
for that.
Our hero. Can we make you our mascot?
So Death comes around to take maybe the white flag for stage number 1. I do believe.
I'm watching that 4-car battle behind them because, those dudes are fighting for stage points.
Oh, so it looks
Drew
like Death has gotten loose down the track. Bob Drew's trying to make a move. I heard some calamity back there in the straight stretch.
He's got the inside if he can make it
Bob Drew is
stick.
going to push for the inside here as they come around out of turn 4 for stage number 1. Bob Drew has made the pass. Death goes back down inside, and they come around to the line. Bob Drew in the lead.
It's going to be Bob Drew.
And I believe he has took stage number 1 here. Bob Drew with a late move on Death Before Dishonor to end the stage.
That was a smooth move.
That was a good move there. That's just good
racing.
Very
patient on his part, yeah.
Yeah, I said a couple laps before, he was just
stage 1.
Yeah, he was just setting him up for the money, like I said. Coming around with a few to go, and Bob Drew got it done there, diving down in deep in 3 and 4 to take it from Death Before Dishonor, which I believe that Death had almost or maybe over a second lead there with about 5 to go.
At one point, it did look like he was about 6 or 7 tenths out in the lead. And I just want to touch on something else, too, that Jinx had brought up. B-Stats ran that entire first stage, most of that first stage out front by himself. And then, like Jinx was saying, no idea how his truck was going to handle back in traffic. And now he's gotten himself in a situation where he's way back there.
Just an update on the fuel run. I believe a full go is 25 laps here for the trucks. So lap 70 is where this stage will end. And we're back off here with Bob Drew in the lead, followed in tow by Death Before Dishonor. He's going to try to make that move quick down on the low inside on turn 1. And we were already almost 3 wide coming out of the restart there. So we have wide open, we have Bob Drew, Death Before Dishonor, and wide open in the 1, 2, 3 here, followed by the 3 of Twin, the 99 of Sniper.
All right. Sniper thought better of it. I thought he was going to go 3 wide there, maybe take the inside, but he showed a lot of patience there.
Now, Beast is actually benefited, too, because he did not get that caution. But because there were no cautions, he was able to get back on the lead lap. Probably didn't lose a lap, but if he did lose a lap, he got that lucky dog, and he was right back in the thick of it.
Yeah, I don't think he ended up actually losing a lap because
I think he stuck it out there.
It panned me onto him to start this stage, and showed him ahead of 2 or 3 trucks.
So that kind of worked out for him. The way it did, if that had happened earlier in the run, he'd probably be 2 laps down, possibly 3.
So we are linked up.
At the end of the
Yeah,
race,
he's still got a lot of workout, cut out for him here, because now he had to make an adjustment, on how to get his truck, to run better with these guys in a pack, race. But he's got several guys he's got to race through to get up here and be in contention.
So who is it that drives the 18?
That is Titanic.
So we have Titanic getting split by the 98 and the 99 of Pyle and Sniper, but he seems to have beaten Sniper off the corner and gotten back out in front of him.
Got a massive jump. He might take the lead here.
So I'm on board
wide
with...
open to the lead.
Yeah, I've got on board with Death right as that was happening around the 8 of Bob Drew. So now we have the 20 and the 40 up in front of the 8, which was opposite just a lap ago. And
Bob Drew's going to race hard, though. It seems like his truck came alive towards the end of that last run. Maybe he's got a little bit of a late race,
Yeah, maybe he's got a truck that kind of takes 5-10 laps to actually come in and get the speed. I know Cup Series, a lot of the Cup guys had a car that was, you barely could drive.
Death got a real loose right there.
Yeah, we had some swirling going on, but Death was able to get it under control as we enter turn 1 here, 3 wide, and we have, I don't know who that is there. Is that Scoop? Just made a move for third. Yeah, Scoop to put the slide job on Bob Drew as he's going to get Twoon on his inside, Bob Drew here, so he's now dropped back to the 5th position from first after that very quick pass by Wide Open earlier in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was a big run that Wide Open had there.
But he doesn't seem to be able to pull away. And, that's one of the things where...
that can be a tape issue. Like, maybe he got such a big run there, off the draft, and now that he's out front, he's not getting as much of that air.
I mean, because now Death is in the draft, so Death is going to be just following behind. You got Scoop. These 5 cars right here have pulled away from everyone else.
Yeah, I don't see the second group catching them unless we have an incident. A lot of good racing back there in that second group, too.
Yeah, I'm going to get back here to that second group.
Beast is already up to, let's do a Beast update. Beast is already up to 8th.
Yeah, I'm watching him. He's in front of King Powell. He's also behind Sniper, it looks to be.
Yep,
and
you gotta
pay attention right now.
You gotta pay attention to Sniper and Pyle because those trucks are like identical.
Yes, so we have. I'm on board with B Stats now. He's behind the 87 of Travis, the 99 of Sniper, with Pyle in that 98 in tow, right behind him. Pretty sure Scoop,
Killer Sean,
or not Scoop. I'm
back
sorry.
Of that group too.
Yeah, Killer Sean, and so yeah, we have a nice little single file going on here in this back group now.
The rest of the field behind that back group.
And then we'll just jump on down through here a little bit, try to get a little bit of look at all the
inside
scenery.
Of Sniper for position here. It looks like B-Stats might have figured a little bit something out right there on his truck.
Yeah, so B-Stats does make the move there on the inside.
That's going to be
4th.
7th place now for him.
I do believe, and as they're going to... Oh, no, I believe I've seen a lag out of somebody there.
Yep, that looks like a little bit of a rubber band, and that's going to be heavy damage on the truck that Sniper's in.
Oh, yeah, it looks like Beast is lagging, I believe, a little bit out there, or at least that's what it seems to be on my screen.
Can't really see too much damage on the front end of Sniper's truck, but
there was
definitely
certainly
on the stream there you were able to see contacts.
Yeah, there was a huge shift in positions there, honestly, after that.
Pushes Sean John up a couple spots there.
So let's get back here and look at somebody else for a little bit. It's Killer Sean John here. He's following B-Stats fairly closely in that 32.
Watching this front pack, it looks like Mr. Twoon might be losing that front pack a little bit. And because of it, it looks like that second 3-truck pack right there is actually going to maybe gain some advantage on Twoon's draft and maybe close the gap.
Yeah, Twoon's kind of just like riding by himself. He's not close enough to the front pack, and the back pack is just a little bit too far away from him.
Travis looks like he had some pretty good speed, though. We're talking about how B-Stats was rolling through this field, and I don't really see him making any, time up on that truck that Travis is in.
Well, I mean, he did restart towards the back, and he's already up to 8. So I mean, he's got some speed in there.
He's got something.
He's definitely got the speed, but I think he wore his tires out a bit getting around all those good drivers.
We're on board with Pigpen here as we look up from his nose up through the field, and it's a nice straight line of trucks as far as the eye can see. And we'll jump back over and see Lando here as he sees the same sort of scenery. And now on board with B-Stats. We got somebody down low here in the front stretch, but they seem to gather themselves for 3 and 4.
It looks like something may have happened to Scoop. He's losing. Yeah, is Scoop hitting? It
So
looks like Scoop's on pit
we got
road
Bob
early.
Drew and Death fighting again for the lead. But let's take a second here for station identification. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch Hammerdown Racing Series on YouTube, like our Facebook page. If you're interested in joining, all you have to do is join the Facebook, find one of us guys, or post on there that you're interested, and we'll get you in the right direction for Season 3. But we stream cup races at 9:30 on Fridays, and the truck race, as you're watching right now, is on Saturdays at 9:30. We always do a little pre-race, usually around 12 to 10 minutes before the 9:30 green time. And yeah, once again, like, comment, subscribe, please, to Hammerdown
Now, did we
Racing.
have a caution, or was?
And that is a caution out here. I'm not sure what brought that out, but Bob
Yeah,
Drew
I
is
was,
our leader.
Yeah, I was watching that 3-truck battle for the lead out front and
We have
completely
two.
missed it. I see some damage
have
on the front
two-
of Panda.
We have 2 trucks down pit road, which is B-Stats and King Pile. So after this, we may see those 2 trucks out here in the front. So they may have pulled out a lucky match here.
Scrolling through, and the only truck I really see with damage is Sniper.
I
and
see
Panda.
Scoop down on the apron. So
Yeah,
maybe he was a part of that.
Just coming off. He was just coming off of pit road. He
Okay.
actually pit right before you
So,
started
B-Stats
the
is
identification.
more towards the middle of this pack, which I did not expect.
Scoop is at the end of the pack too.
We had
Sniper
somebody.
did not pit.
Yeah, Sniper dove off into the grass there. King Paul is in the lead with Bob Drew wide open. Death before dishonor. It looks like Mr. Twoon in tow as we go through here into turn
I'm
number
gonna
1.
Go back there and see what's up with Sniper. Sniper's just now getting that truck going. Wonder what
I
kind of
believe
issue he had there.
He may have forgotten to hit that. Hit that
So
button.
King Paul is going to give up the lead into turn 1 here as Bob Drew and Death Before Dishonor are going to try to take him on the inside. There's a group of 5 trucks, mostly 4 I guess, trying to make a move on the inside of Paul as he holds his own there in the middle of that pack that's down below him. And it is getting swirly there between all these trucks.
Bob Drew to the high side.
Bob Drew jumps
I
out,
think
gives
he's just making that truck 2 lanes wide right there.
I believe that's what he did. He kind of came out and gave Paul a boost and decreased the boost off of the bottom line there.
And
but
we have confirmed that the caution was brought out by Lando spinning getting onto pit road.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Single truck issue like that, and somebody else must have been up in the wall or something at that same time.
No, I've seen the relaxed cautions come out if you spin out in an area like that.
Okay.
Because it usually will throw you back up on the track trying to turn around. But still on board here. Looks like King Paul has now dropped back into almost 5th position here.
I'm pretty much seeing the same story we've seen so far, which is those top 4 trucks being Bob Drew, Death, Wide Open, and Mr. Twoon.
So I'm going to follow the nose of King Paul as he runs in 5th position here, right behind Mr. Twoon.
Is that B-Stats behind him now?
I'm not quite sure. It could be.
I think
'cause,
that is, yeah. I think
it
right
could
there in
be.
that 6th place, B-Stats again. He's got a fast truck.
Hey, he looks like he's made the adjustments to be able to run that truck the way he wants in traffic.
Yeah.
Like I said,
yeah.
it's a big change when you're not used to when you're running out front. He qualified on the pole, was able to get out front and stay out front, and then, once you get back there in traffic just a little bit, it may not handle the same.
So B-Stats is making his case up here on the bumper of King Paul. It looks like the front group is going to split off into 2 by 2 once they get back out here to the backstretch. Oh no, they just didn't have the mustard to get up beside those 2 trucks. B-Stats
Death really pushed Drew into that turn, and it looks like he's still sucked up on that bumper.
B-Stats is working with Travis to get out through a past Paul there, and the draft kind of throws Paul up into the wall a little bit.
Yeah, that draft push, man, like if it hits the truck the wrong way, it'll push you in a direction you don't really want to go. It'll make you tough.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Especially coming off the turn, somebody makes a move going low or high up across your nose. In some cases, it'll just completely spin your truck.
Yeah. So while we're here, if everybody wants to do some silence, we'll try to get a little crank it up going here.
Yeah, man, do it.
All right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Let me get it together here. So here it is for your crank it up.
You're not showing anything on the stream.
We got to switch over for the lead now. Just got a notification as well that Lando has lagged out of this race.
So there's what I had for crank it up. Sorry if it wasn't as great as Panda's, but I did not have the sound through the TV, so we kind of just used mic and headset.
Hey, Visceral, I know this is like your first one in the booth. You can't really like say anything during the crank it up because it does a badass echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it had ended because I heard somebody else say something else. Like I thought we were coming back. That's my bad. My mistake,
Yeah,
fellas.
It happens. Happens to the best of
It's
us.
all good. Rookie in the booth too, you know.
This pack for the lead though. I mean, it's
Better than
single file right now.
better than those unnecessary sports cutaway in football with the Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah. So this guy ate spaghetti last night.
Yeah. So he said he's feeling a little heavier today.
The only one I can't stand is Chris Collinsworth because I can't stand hearing 80 times a game. So here's a guy.
Yeah. So actually, I'll make sure I send it to you so you can pass it along to your wife, Jinx. Every Valentine's Day, I send it to my wife. It's a picture of Chris Collinsworth smiling, and it says, oh crap, roses are red. What was it, Stu? Oh man, I'm totally blanking
Honestly,
here.
I missed it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay, so it's roses are red, violets are blue. Now here's a guy that cares about you.
Oh my god.
Well, we're going to jump out to the front because here's a guy, Bob Drew, that is, I don't know if he's leading this race. Who's out there in the front?
Wide open made that pass. Yeah, we had Bob Drew out there for the entire crank it up until the very end.
Are those lap down cars in front of wide open there?
Yes, I believe those are lap down cars.
Okay, so
They're not lap down, but maybe about
yeah,
to be
just
lap
slow
down.
traffic. Yeah. So we have some slow traffic as the leaders are going to get up on it, and here's a guy in the 16 kind of getting close to the leaders there. Oh no, and he's gotten down into Bob Drew.
Bob Drew is taken out into
the 16
the
here has caused all kinds of calamity amongst the
that was
top.
glad bump, if I believe.
All right, that is a.
So
that
we
is
have
one of the new drivers. We
Punk
will have
Panda.
a discussion for that one.
Punk Panda is
That's,
getting lapped. It does
Tough
look
to
like
see
to
for
me.
Bob Drew, but if he's anything like B-Stats, has been showing, truck that quick, he'll have no problem getting back up through the field.
Well, honestly, that's going to be things that we are looking to get rid of during the season.
Yeah.
Season 3, so that will be a discussion that will be had privately with Glad Bump. I know he is a new guy. He maybe went to get out of the way and didn't think that Bob was actually just going to try to make the pass.
Yeah, so I can say being a fellow, rookie out here with you guys, sometimes, it's not as easy as, it seems. Either a caution or we're not at the end of the stage, surely, right?
We honestly may be at the end of the stage there, and I could have missed it. I don't have a accurate lap count, so.
That's right, because Lando lagged out.
But that stage did end on lap 70, so from 70 to 150 is stage 3.
Yeah, we got a long one here. That's 80 laps.
It's 25 laps, so we're going to see 3 pit stops here if it stays green.
I would want to say though for season 3, season 3 will be expanding into an Xfinity series. 3 series, probably about 20 drivers per series. And no driver can run more than 2 series.
Was a decision made whether Xfinity is going to be custom setup or slider?
That is going to be discussed in the off season.
Gotcha.
But there will be 3 series.
This is the start of the final stage from Camping World 225 here at Chicagoland Speedway. Wide Open will lead us off here in stage number 3. He's followed closely behind the whole field. And,
wow, so if that was the end of the stage, then Bob Drew really lucked out. He kind of got that beast luck, didn't go a lap down, and he's already up into the 7th.
Yeah, right there. Truck that I've noticed falling off a little bit surprising. Scoop's just been kind of hanging out there around 8th, 9th place.
And
he's trying. I know he's trying to kind of avoid the restarts as hectic as they can be, and we've seen, based on the Cup races and based on the previous truck races, that this is the stage where people get a little bit more antsy and aggressive, trying to make those positions up. So we could be in for some.
We have some calamity back here. In 3 and 4, it looks like had some trucks shuffle up, get in the wall. I was following along Pigpen there.
16 again?
I don't know. I was following along Pigpen as the group of trucks behind him. So I'm board with B stats here. He looks like he's in 5th position. He's followed by Bob Drew. And
so after Beast's issues in stage 1, he's up at the 5th, and after Bob's issue in stage 2, they're right there knocking on
together.
And right after, he must have his ears ringing right now. Right after I said Scoop's been back there around 8th or 9th, he's got himself up in 4th now.
Yeah, and he is followed behind the tandem that is B stats and Bob Drew
he's making another
tonight.
pass right here.
Yeah, so we have Twoon and Scoop making a move on the 20 to death. Oh, he's going to get on the inside of Twoon, and Twoon's going to come down and block him off there. As Death's going to try to make a move on the inside coming down the straight stretch.
There's my pick, Twoon, running there in P2.
Let's see if he can hold it, though. He seems to have really, really quick truck right out of the gates here, and then it seems like he kind of falls off a little more, so maybe he worked a little bit more on his tire pressure there and figured out something he's really happy with now.
It looks like he's struggling to keep that truck low in 3 and 4.
Yep.
And now he's going to get put 3 wide on the outside.
We saw that issue a lot last night in the Cup race too. I know I could hold it wide open 1 and 2 on the bottom, but to keep it down there on that white line in 3 and 4 is a much different case. You really got to roll that truck in there and have some good front weight on it.
Tiana, big shout out, another Travis fan. He's got a gaggle of them. Tiana Travis, I believe, is running 8th or 9th.
Travis has had a strong outing right here today. I believe Travis, let's get him on board here for our new coming viewer. So there he is. He looks like he's running back there in about 8th or 9th.
I know he'd really like to see a victory here, but got to think at this point, like, top 10s are crucial. So he's having himself a good run right now.
Yeah, in the round of 16, you've only got to stay ahead of 4.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks like we have a good split in the field here. It looks like we have 9 cars up front and looks like around 9 cars out back. And so we are finding the boys from the men here, I guess, as you, for lack of a better term.
And can see right now, Toon got stuck on the outside as he was battling for the lead, got stuck on the outside. He has gone from second back to, looks like fifth or sixth, just by being trapped on that outside line.
Yeah, unless you have a setup like Scoop does. It looks like he's made it work a few times. Haven't really seen anybody else make that high line work without losing a bunch of positions.
You see it work for maybe like a pass or a turn, but it's not somebody who can consistently run up there. And it sucks because, I mean, that's one of the biggest gripes I had about NASCAR Heat is like they turned every track into like a one-lane track.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to run setups that way because you can be bad fast even in the middle lane, but you're still not as fast as somebody who can run the bottom.
Now, I may be wrong here, but I think really the only track where you can run multi-lanes is at Las Vegas.
I guess it really depends on setup because I feel like setups will help you find a new groove, depending on how you set that up. And I just want to give a shout out to 11 people out here watching us right now. That is very much appreciated. Please like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, get them in here. This is a heck of a time we have watching these races.
Don't be afraid to get in that comment section. Let us know what you think.
And Jinx can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe here, probably in the future, or near future possibly, we're going to be giving out free stuff during these streams.
Yes, for season
thanks
3,
to our sponsor.
We will have shirts, koozies, hats, stickers given out to viewers. Panda will have more info on that. Pretty much he's going to do like a fourth person to comment will get a shirt. And it will, I believe it will be printed with whatever driver you want on it at the back. So I have one of those shirts. I got it from my wife. She wears it on race nights. It's got the Hammerdown logo on the front, nice big, the actual car number that you run, and your gamer tag on the top.
That's a pretty logo too. Whoever designed that, I really do like it.
We had an original one, and then we got that one from a buddy of ours. Panda and I are in the works to revamp the logo for Season 3 for something completely new.
Okay.
There's a lot of big things going into Season 3 between the draft showdown that will happen again. That was a big event last Season 2.
From a graphic design standpoint, we could maybe even for the logo for Season 3 change the S to a number 3.
Yeah.
So kind of like HDRS.
Yeah. But we have Season 3. We're going to have the draft showdown, which was a big event last year. The showdown race was live broadcasted with the 5 captains actually in the booth with Panda and Twin. And then immediately following that showdown, it was a live draft.
So guys, I'm gonna put this on wide open for a second, and I'll be right back. So we are on board with the leaders, and that is Wide Open as the leader, and he's followed closely behind by Scoop, Death, and I do believe B-Stats is back up there in the top 4 now. So I'll leave it off to Jinx and Visceral here for just a moment.
Yep. So Season 3, like I said, we are expanding into the Xfinity series, trying to limit the the large packs because we had to cut the truck series down and add new guys into the trucks, which kind of was unfair to them because they weren't racing for anything, because unless they won the last race, they weren't going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
So we're going to limit it to probably around 20 cars per field. And like I said earlier, no driver can run more than 2 series, so you're not going to be Kyle Busch, I should say, in every series, but a cup guy who can, win
truck
every
ringer.
race. And the truck series is going to be for those guys who are, really new to the league and trying to work their way up. And we're going to do like a workup process, earn your spot. If you start in the trucks, earn an Xfinity spot, and then eventually earn a truck spot or a cup spot.
Yeah. So with the addition now of the Xfinity, I'm imagining hot seats is going to work kind of the same way it would, like the career mode on this game, whereas if you're in the trucks, probably only going to get a hot seat for the Xfinity, correct?
Yes, if you're in the trucks, you are only eligible going to be hot seating for Cup, and if you're an Xfinity, you can only hot seat for Cup. However, if you already run Cup and truck, you cannot hot seat for an Xfinity race.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would be the rule of threes there. Ooh, B-Stats looks like he hit the apron a little bit there.
We're trying to limit it to where, guys who come in and aren't getting steamrolled by Cup guys who kind of have a more understanding of how fast they are, and we kind of want to make it a little bit more fair for the lower level guys.
So if we're looking here at the front, Scoop has actually pulled away from third place a bit, and it looks like he might be trying to hunt for a late pass for the lead.
Yeah, he's looking for it. I know Wide Open at this point, he's probably saving a little bit of fuel. It's what he does. He's probably going to try to stretch it. If everyone else can do it in 3 pit stops, he's going to do everything he can to try to do it in 2.
Yeah, he's really good at doing it too.
Well, I'm still here back here and still here with Wide Open, and he is still in the lead. And
Bob Drew made a pass to get around B-Stats there for 4th place. And then we got Twoon leading that second group back there, back in 6th. And who's that behind him? I believe that's Travis behind him.
Well, I can't believe that we're not far off the first round of pit stops. So, still a long way to go here in this very long stage 3.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see some people who have been pitting earlier, like Scoop, maybe come down in a lap or 2. We got B-Stats on pit road now, actually.
Yeah, we got Beast going to take the pit now. And as we learned in practice, short pitting is the answer here. You do not...
Yeah.
Unless you have it down pat, you do not want a long pit. Unless you can absolutely maintain your speed.
Yeah, it's not like the Cups because, setups, it's just a whole different ball game. But when you're talking sliders out here, the speed fall off is second half, in some cases 2 seconds, depending on how long the run is. And staying out trying to get position in these trucks on these sliders is just very risky because, these trucks coming out on fresh tires could be going, 2 seconds faster than you every single lap, just gaining on you. But if anybody can make it work, it's definitely that 40 truck Wide Open.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how this pit maneuvering from B-Stats is going to work out. I mean, this man started on the pole. There's no slouch, for sure. Looks like we got Bad Bacher is a little slow up here in front of the leaders.
Oh, as you can see, Scoop into the wall, going for a pass for the lead.
Looks like Wide Open kind of looks like Wide Open kind of made his truck as wide as the track there, and we still have Wide Open, Scoop, and Death all fighting for this first position. But before long, I'm sure that this pack will pit.
I want to say this is the longest I've seen Scoop stay out on a green flag run.
Well, the guys,
and it seems like he's got it working pretty well for him now, up to second.
In these trucks, it doesn't concern me about how worn these tires get, because I feel like you can get away with 2 here in the trucks better than you can the Cup cars.
I feel like the tires here, 10% tires left, on these trucks. Probably about having 50% left on the Custom Cup setup. You still have decent grip out there, even on these worn tires.
Yeah, so I'm just going to skip on back through here. We got Woody on board here. Looks like he's running alone. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe just pit. Here's a 16 of Glad Bump. He's racing. Pretty spaced, but there is cars around him.
All right, sorry, gentlemen. I'm back. I put my daughter to sleep.
It's all good.
Understandable.
On board with the 00 of Pigpen, running that test session. Red Scheme. Off pit road.
I would like to know what's going on with the 98 of Pile and the 99 of Sniper. They kind of being silent back there. Pile's on pit road now, as well as Mr. Twoon.
I'm on board with B-Stats here. He has Bob Drew, and I can't quite tell what that other truck is.
If you go back here a little bit further back, Titanic in the 18 actually looks like he's running the high side at least in 3 and 4. And he's keeping it ahead of the 13 there.
If you're talking about who's in front of Bob Drew, that is Punk Panda.
That is Panda, yeah.
So, We got Killer Sean
he's gonna
going
let
down
him
pit
go
road, followed by Travis. So
Looks like we have a battle potentially heating up between Biker and who's that ahead of him? And the Titanic,
18 is
possibly.
Titanic, yep.
someone on board with Scoop looked like he just came off
That's
pit road,
scary.
maybe with wide
That
open.
was scary. These guys
Yeah.
just came off pit road, and as they were coming onto the track, you had the 8 and the 17 battling.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just a
so,
recipe for it
Scoop
was just
is gonna
bad
be able
timing.
to beat. Scoop is going to be able to beat wide open out of the pits.
That could be monumental right here because
I
Wide
believe-
Open has showed he's been really quick out front.
I believe we got Bob Drew has been a strong contender. This whole race is at risk of maybe going a lap down unless he hasn't pit yet.
No, I don't believe
I'm
he's
not
pit
sure.
yet.
I believe Bob Drew's, still out there racing on old tires.
He
Yeah,
may.
you can see these guys. They're flying right by him. They've got the fresher tires.
It looks like he
Yeah.
may have. If he did want to pit there, he got blocked from doing so. So hopefully
That's
that doesn't
not
hurt him.
looking too bad. I mean, he's only about a half a second behind these other guys, Scoop and Wide Open. So looks like he had a good pit stop too.
Yeah, I mean it's when you get to these green flag pit stops, it's getting on and off pit road is so crucial because once you get those green flag pit stops going, the fuel gets stretched out, it gets single file, and there's not a lot of battling for position going on. So.
Kind of questioning right now how worn Drew's tires are because he's not as quick as these two guys ahead of him, but maybe he did that short pit, kind of like we saw B-Stats do.
I'm thinking he's probably staying out, probably trying to stretch it. I mean, I know
He's holding on to it really well if that's the case.
Yeah, I know Wide Open and Scoop, they kind of look at their fuel left, what they have left, and how many stops they can make it if they pit at a certain point. And I think
They
Bob
got
is trying to stretch
B-Stats
it
ahead of them on track, and is that for the lead?
I'm not
'Cause
quite
I know
sure. That
B-Stats
was
short pitted. He pitted two or three laps before those
he
two
did
guys.
pit very early. B-Stats could possibly be leading or very close to it. It looks like he has who is that there behind him? We'll get a good look here.
That's Scoop and Wide Open.
Oh, Scoop and Wide Open. So yeah, that might be
that might
B-Stats
be
out here
further
in
for the
lead.
lead.
Yeah.
He's got a couple laps more worn tires though, and it looks like they're probably going to overtake him here within a lap or two. But if I had to, if I were a betting man, I'd say that B-Stats is our current leader.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that too because I believe the truck that is in front of them might be the 17. Or no, that's not the 17. That's Panda.
17 is Panda. He's a little bit back further.
Yep, I believe Panda is a lap down, or he has not pit yet, which means he would be a couple laps up on these guys. But I believe if you're still on track and a truck pits and they do a full 4 tires and fuel, they will go. I think you go down 2 laps.
Yeah, I did in Cup last night. Whenever I pitted a little early, I went down 2 laps on 4 tire stop.
Yeah.
Tires are just so important, man. And it's
very, very crucial. This is a track kind of like Atlanta where it'll chew tires up. It doesn't seem so bad at the start of the run, but I know towards the end of the run, you start looking at your tire life, and you can start seeing it go down 4 or 5% in one turn.
I mean, when you see certain tracks, though, it's those tracks that they don't burn your right side tires. It's the ones that burn like that left front.
Yeah, that left front. Yep. And this is
there
one
are
of those
tracks
tracks
that
too, because it's very, if you're running the optimal line here, you're very high into the turn and then all the way down to the bottom, and that's going to usually affect that left front and right rear the most.
Yeah,
I think Scoop is our new leader.
Tires.
And yeah, I'm on board with Scoop. Looks like he's the new leader as somebody is tagging right out there in front of them.
I think that's Woody.
Yep,
And
that's Woody with the
they're going
15.
to catch him, I believe, in the back stretch here.
Woody's had a quiet
Scoop
day.
will.
If I had to guess, I'd say he's probably back there around 12th or 13th. Just kind of running his own race. Every time I've seen him on the track, for the most part, he's just kind of been running by himself.
Yeah, but you see his truck is clean, which means he's
He's running a smart race.
Oh,
Just taking care of
Scoop
it.
kind of got on the door there of that slow car. I don't know why. He's kind of gave him the room there. Could have just gotten loose. And Wide Open and Scoop's
It
going to
looks
go around
like
him.
we have another potential lag as we have the 16 of Glad Bump currently on pit road. He either lagged out or he may have just parked it. He looks like he was struggling a little bit. So we have 4 trucks now, I believe, that have lagged out or had an issue in some sort of way. Another one of those trucks that is not a scratch on it is that 00 Pigpen back here.
Yeah, he's missed a little bit of calamity tonight.
Yeah, he's right ahead of Pyle, it looks like.
He is in.
And
actually, Pigpen is actually in the playoffs, even though he is running that test scheme.
Yeah. So the nice thing about Panda is when he made it known that he was going to be out for like 8 weeks, I think he was, with work. He got sub drivers to actually fill in for him. Now, if that sub driver ever won a race, he would not have gotten credit for the win, but he would have got the winning points. So just like when Stag won racing for Hangman, Hangman got like the 55 points that Stag got him for the race, but did not get credit for the win. So that's how the hot seats work in this league. So
yeah, I believe that was at Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Death and Beat Stats are side by side here.
You don't get credit for the win. You don't get that instant playoff spot. But you do get those most important points.
So it's a good battle up here between the 33 and 40. 40 got kind of loose off the rear end of Scoop there in the 33.
Tough to tell without being able to pull up a leaderboard right now, but I'm looking at Twoon right here. Another truck with no damage on him, kind of running by himself. He's behind Bob Drew. And I think Bob Drew might have been one of those trucks that did a short pit because he's still out here. And I can't imagine at this point he had enough to run, 7 or 8 laps more than everyone else.
And short pit might work in the long run, depending on how many laps you can run on these. Like I said, what did you say the fuel run
25.
was? 25. So
yeah.
Even maybe he broke it up to where he knows, okay, now I've only got to run it for 1 pit stop or 2 pit stops. So,
Titanic, another really clean truck back there.
Yeah, a lot of these truck races have come down to fuel mileage.
So we got I'm on the front of Wide Open's truck here, and he is following closely behind Scoop as they battle it on.
That was a pass for the lead. Scoop is now out there in the lead. We're going to have Wide Open second. Third place is Death, and fourth place, I got to say, by Beat Stats. And then fifth, I think, is Bob Drew. I think he did kind of what B-Stats did, and they short pitted, and their tires are falling off a little bit here on him.
Yep. So this is one of those things, man.
See, B-Stats is going to go into pits now.
And Bob Drew's going to go in with him. Or he just hit the ABS. Bob Drew's in there, too.
So maybe they tried to it looks like they might be doing 1 extra pit stop, but running two half runs, try to gain that speed out there.
In a sense, that's good. I'm not 100% sure if the game actually works that way. But if you're going to take 4 tires and fuel, you're going to go down 2 laps here.
So yep. we have the leaders going around pit road now, and I'm on board with Death Before Dishonor, and he's behind those top 2 cars. Looks like I had Bacher coming out of the pits there as Death went by.
Now, if you're a driver like Death, seeing how you're about a second, maybe a second and a half behind these top 2 guys in first and second, do you maybe try to short pit it and gain a little bit of extra time up on them that way on the fresh tires?
Death will do that if he thinks it will work. I've seen it happen multiple times. Death will do it. The problem is, a lot of these guys who've run all season know that Wide Open is going to stay out until that fuel tank is just bone dry. So it's, depending on how close you are to that leader, if you're a half a lap behind the leader, the short pit's really not going to work.
Got Sniper going down pit road now.
If you're maybe like a second away from the leaders, a short pit, you could make up that time on pit road with a short pit. But if, like I said,
that's exactly what I was thinking in his situation there. I'd have to say, because I'm on board with Scoop right now, and Wide Open's right behind him. I'd have to say Death is a second and a half at least behind them, and maybe losing a tenth or 2 every lap.
And now, wide open is right where he wants to be, and he's right where Scoop doesn't want him to be, because Scoop knows he's probably just using his draft. He's probably thrown it in fourth, just going to log the laps, use the draft to carry him around the track. And for somebody who knows how to save fuel mileage, wide open's in the perfect spot.
You can actually watch Scoop coming out of these turns. He kind of slides up towards the wall on exit, so that's kind of showing you that those tires have probably found their life here, because you can watch it right here in turn 1. He kind of slides up just a bit. He's fighting it really hard, and then he exits it out next to the wall.
Middle track, he starts sliding up, and if you push it too hard here,
he could also be doing that to try to keep wide open out of his draft.
That that's also another thing too. Maybe
I have seen wide open almost get that quarter
Scoop,
panel.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to let that 40 truck around him at this point. And it almost looks like the 40 wide open wants no part of that. He is not going for a pass here at all. He is completely content being 2-3 tenths behind that 33.
Well, he could be using his draft to save some fuel, pit at the same time, and still have some more.
That's exactly what Jinx was saying.
Yeah, and have more than
Scoop.
What's
going on here? Do we have a caution?
Or quicker pit, rather.
Ooh, I believe we have a caution out right now.
Well, isn't that just impeccable timing? Once again,
it looks like Punk Panda was involved.
I just want to thank everybody.
Now this is going to do this.
Woody's got a lot of damage on the front of his truck now, too.
Is that going to help the guys who short pitted, or is that going to help the guys who've been running out this whole time? Because now those guys who short pitted are probably a lap down.
Well, if I was...
Yeah, so honestly, that helps the guys that stayed out. Because those guys that short pitted, they still probably ran 6 laps, on those tires. And it would just be, on a track like Chicago, you can't come in and just take no tires.
You can't, so...
You can take
and now they're laps down.
You could possibly take
really
a bank of keeping your tires fresh and then just pitting with the rest.
I'm seeing B-Stats and Bob Drew pretty deep back there in the field, especially B-Stats. Yeah,
B-Stats and Bob Drew are in the bottom 6.
Yeah, I'm thinking neither one of those guys wanted to see that caution come out right there.
So the restart here, we have wide open actually out front. Death Before Dishonor behind him. Scoop along the outside. As
Death made a really, really early move. He might take the lead here in 3 and 4.
He's going to look for it with Twin in
right
tow.
There on the back end.
Wide Open's going to slide down into the bottom lane, kind of pull up Death Before Dishonor. And
somebody we
I
haven't
believe
messaged much. Killer Sean up there in 5th place with Travis behind him in 6th.
Killer's been doing really good in the truck series ever since he got called up to the Cup series. He's been using, I guess, that track knowledge or the track practice that he's been getting running the Cup and running with these guys in Cup, and he's been using that for the truck series, and it's actually been working out well for him. He's had really good runs in the Cup, and ever since he's been in Cup, he's had really good runs in the truck series.
So I think what helped him out so far this race is he was one of those guys. He qualified up in the top 8. And then dropped to the very back on that first restart. And I think he was just trying to judge how everyone was going to run on these restarts. And he's got himself up here working with Twoon for a top 5.
I'm on board with Killer Sean John, and I'm watching Bob Drew back here, and he doesn't seem like he's racing like he's a lap down. He's stuck his nose right in the middle of that pack. I mean, obviously, he's got B-Stats on his tail.
Too.
Yeah, and
they may have taken the waiver
Mr. Twoon hard into that wall on the exit.
Yeah, he's going to get slow here, lose a position. We got one B-Stats came through the grass there, doing a little maintenance on the lawn for Chicagoland.
They probably decided to not pit, which allowed them to take the wave around. So they probably put them both back on the lead lap.
That would have been a smart decision. We'll find out for sure, here in a lap or two, because if they didn't pit, they'll start falling off here pretty quick.
Well, at times too, the tires don't wear as much as you think they do. I mean, even at times too. I mean, even if you run 5-6 laps, those tires are still probably sitting 93, 94.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, as we saw last night here in the Cup, nobody wanted 98% tires compared to 100%.
Yeah, on the last restart there in the Cup last night, I debated. I was like, do I take the 98s and just take rights? And I decided against it because it's just too risky here.
It's kind of like that on these tracks with this with this concrete asphalt kind of like hybrid.
Yeah. We got a 3-car breakaway for the lead right now.
Yeah. And
this
we've
is
almost
also
seen this every time so far on these restarts.
And I'm pretty sure this is also old surface, so it's probably over 20 years old. And those older tracks just tear it up.
The track was opened in '99 and first race was in '01. So I imagine we haven't seen a resurface yet.
Yeah,
I don't think Chicago's ever had a repave.
And it's also owned by NASCAR, so I don't think it's been repaved.
And with the loss of it being in the schedule, I doubt it'll ever even see a repave.
Well, I feel like it will come back.
Indy still runs Chicago.
I think it's a shame that Cup disbanded this track. There's a couple tracks they're getting rid of, and Auto Club going to be one of them.
What Cup wants is they look like they want more of the short racing, the mile tracks, the half-a-mile tracks, versus
the road courses.
Yeah, versus these long 1.5 and 2-mile tracks. I mean, the fact that you turned Auto Club from a 2-mile, super speedway essentially into a half-mile Bristol with no banking.
Yeah, that's going to be that's odd to me. It's at that point you're going to be looking at like a Martinsville but Bristol sized.
Dude, I don't understand this new race.
Kind of like a New Hampshire hybrid.
Well, I do believe the race
they got for this season. What is it in the Rose Bowl?
Oh yeah, it's the
Coliseum race.
Memorial.
Yeah, that's a 0.25 mile track, I think.
Like you're gonna the car in last place is gonna restart right in front of the leader.
Essentially, have you seen the breakdown that they did on that? How they're going to run those heats and stuff?
Yeah, I also actually watched the next gen practice there, and that's not sure how I feel about that. I mean, those guys are getting up to like 85 mile an hour before they're back on the brakes, and it just feels kind of like a go-kart race at that point.
That's kind of the point. I believe you was watching. Did you watch the Bowman Gray next gen test?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I watched that too. Clint and Dale Jr.
Yep.
Yeah, they got in there. They said it felt really good out there.
Now, what will make that a fun race is if these drivers just throw caution to the wind and they turn it into a bumper car, style.
Oh, we have some
race.
swirliness going on around the rear end of Bob Drew there. I believe that was. I'm unsure who that was.
That's Twoon.
Yeah, that was Twoon.
Oh, we got Pyle hit the apron, moved up. He's going to lose a spot there to Titanic. Right behind them is Woody.
We have such a tight group back here. Pretty much, it looks like around 5th to 10th. It's a real tight group. We got Sniper going down pit road.
B-Stats on pit road again.
So maybe B-Stats is going for that last splash of gas, possibly. I'm not sure how.
He's got to take 4 tires here, though, to get him to the end. There's a lot of racing left. Still back here looking at Pigpen and Killer Sean and Titanic. No damage on those trucks at all. I mean, they're running smart. They're running smooth. They know what they got to do to be, staying where they are in the playoff standings. And really haven't seen any issues tonight. Anyways, most cautions we've missed them, but it all seems to be like a spin onto pit road or maybe just one car getting loose and then another car just collecting. Doesn't really seem like there's a lot of super aggressive racing, which is really good to see. It's a cold glass of water compared to what we had third stage last night.
Yeah, exactly. I believe Wide Open's still leading this spectacle that is Hammerdown Racing. And he's followed by Death in that 20 truck, and I believe Scoop is right in tow in 3rd place there. And there's another pack of 3 cars behind them fighting for 4th, 5th, and 6th. So Wide Open's still out here running really strong. And another car behind him in Death has been up here all night long. Scoop's kind of played it safe at a few moments during this race.
I'm back here watching Travis, Bob Drew, and Twoon race. And Travis has just got himself a solid running truck right now. He's back here in 4th. I want to say that's the highest he's been this race.
Yeah, Travis is followed by Bob Drew and Mr. Twoon in the 8 and 3 respectively. They got a good line here. Going to try to catch these top 3 cars, which are kind of spaced out.
If they can stay hooked up like this, they might be able to do it.
Yeah, they are staying on each other very well through these turns here. It looks like they're not far off that leading pack, though.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd say maybe a 10th or 2/10.
We got Bob Drew going to make a move.
Making a pass here.
On Travis inside turn 1.
That's for 4th, but that
might be a good idea, though, because if Bob Drew is faster on the long run, it's a better idea to let them him get
Travis. Travis almost jumped out there to make a move of his own, but I believe he thought better of it.
I think, he thought better of that for sure. It looks like they're all thinking pretty smart here, like, we got to get up there and catch these guys. And
now, one of the
way
other things that a lot of viewers don't know, the truck guys are in 2 chats, whereas the cup guys are in team chats. So all these guys can talk to each other during the race.
So it's very likely they are working together. Because I don't see Twoon pushing an issue at all.
Well, we had some shakiness there.
He could have gone high there on Travis, but it looks like he let off of it and just let him have it. I think they're thinking Bob Drew is looking a little quicker here.
We got some door banging going between the 87 and the 3. As Twoon's going to get around Travis in the 87, try to make his case on the back of Bob Drew.
It looks like Travis got a little loose coming out of 4.
He did exactly what you were warning about in the pre-race. Getting on that apron on these worn tires can definitely make you loose.
Exactly. So there's Bob Drew on board now. He leads this second group right behind the group of 3 leaders. And here we got Panda. We'll give him a little more camera time. He's been running back here solo most of the night. Probably just keeping his nose clean. Yes, and welcome back to him.
Killer Shondon, number 32, is on pit road right now. So we might start seeing snipers back there too.
Shout out to Brad Cunningham. He said scoop or die.
Scoop or die. I mean, as far as the season's gone with the
we have some late pitting. I need to get back here to Scoop. I don't think he made it on pit road, possibly.
Oh no, that was our. Was he our leader at the time? It looks. What's going on here?
Scoop is in the grass. I think he's going to try to get around to go backwards. Oh no, I think he's going to think better of it, not get kicked. So Scoop has a late race issue here. He's still stuck in the grass. I'm not sure what he's thinking.
He's trying to get. He's probably got worn tires. When you get worn tires and you're in the grass,
it's hard to. Yeah, you got to get in 4th gear pretty much.
So
to get out of there.
That's unfortunate for Scoop. He's run up, played it safe all night. I believe.
We hate to see that to a guy like that.
I believe wide open.
Did he get loose or he get?
No, I believe wide open.
He got rammed in. Somebody hit him. I think he got his nose taken off.
I don't believe that's what it was.
He got right front damage.
No, I believe what happened was wide open was going to take at the last second say I'm going to pit, basically, and Scoop was trying to jump down in there with death, and I believe just caused some calamity.
Like a last minute.
Yeah, it was like I need to pit. Yeah, it was. I believe he was going to try to pit with wide open, and wide open just dove it in there real quick on him. And then,
as always, we'll chat with Scoop after the race and get the what happened there.
Scoop is now on pit road.
That's
stop.
Barring a caution.
And Visceral, if you stick on to stay in the booth for trucks or Xfinity next season, and if you want to do the booth with Be New, part of your guys' responsibilities will be to look for incidents that should or could require a penalty. That's why I asked what exactly happened.
Yeah, that's what I
caught it right at the end, and all I saw was a cluster of 3 trucks on pits, and then Scoop in the grass right outside of the commitment zone.
You can catch a bit of it on the stream.
I went back and looked, and I just saw he just dove down late.
Yep, Scoop's coming out now. He's getting passed by Bob Drew here. We're on board with him. And Scoop's going to try to get back out here and maybe salvage some of this race. Panda going down pit road.
Us broadcasters are responsible for penalties, so we
look forward to 15 of Woody.
I was not aware of that. Thank you for letting me know. I'm just going to go ahead and give Sniper a 20-point penalty for no reason.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm on board with B stats. I can't tell exactly where he's running in this mess. He has a few cars out in front of him. We got one way down into the front stretch. Oh no, and I believe Scoop decided
I think he
his
parked
day
it.
was over. Yeah, I believe that's what he decided.
Yeah, he may be upset. I mean, and like we said, we can't actually see, like, the servers don't match screen for screen, so there could have been something going on that.
Yeah, right. And from this standpoint,
maybe he was trying to say he was pitting and nobody was going to let him do it.
I don't even believe it was that. I believe that it was just kind of like, oh shit, pardon my language.
That's just something we hate to see either way. Competitive truck all day, and we just, that's the kind of thing we hate to see. There's good days in racing, and there's bad days in racing.
I feel like he was just like, oh snap, and just when Wide Open dove it in there, it kind of like I'm going to trick him here, and then Scoop was like, oh no you're not, and that's just where it happened,
This is one of the tougher pit roads to get onto. There's a Chicagoland on the turn there, and found
I think
my
the
best.
hardest pit road to get onto is Dover.
Dover is insane because those aprons are death. Those aprons are death.
Richmond and Iowa are both tough.
I don't mind those pit roads. Like, I hate Dover. Either I miss it or I spin every time.
Also, you got to take into account those really short tracks, Martinsville, Bristol, where they actually have it split into 2 pit roads.
Yeah,
that can be tough to.
You kind of know where those pit roads are, but it's just being able to get down without taking out the people behind you for going into pit road. And we got a nice battle right here between Travis and Twoon. Twoon's going to make the pass on the inside. Travis is just going to fall in line right behind him.
Now, I see B-Stats out here running kind of by himself. It looks like he's got a couple of fast trucks behind him.
He's got Twoon and Travis behind him.
Twoon and Travis. I believe these are the 3 guys for the lead, honestly.
They're either for the lead or B-Stats is in 4th, and that group of 3 ahead of them as the leaders. Because I see Bob Drew up there with, I believe, Death, and is that Pyle?
Is it Keelan Gray?
It's Bob Drew. Yeah, he is following.
Keelan Gray would be Biker.
No, that's Pyle. It's I'm watching Death, and behind him is Bob Drew, and then behind Bob Drew is Pyle.
Okay, yeah, I see that. I'm not sure who's up in that red truck up there, black and red truck. I'm not sure who that is.
That would be Titanic, right? The 18?
No. You talk about the black and red or the all orange?
I can't quite tell.
If it's all orange, that's Pigpen, and that's a non-playoff driver. So that's Titanic in front of them. I just went into Bob Drew and saw that. Yeah, that's Titanic up there. Unfortunately, they promised in NASCAR Heat 5 a ticker for spectating, and they had it at the beginning when the game first came out, and then it just disappeared and never came back.
Really unfortunate. That's things that us as owners and fans of the game really need to voice to these developers.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore because they got bought out by Ignition, and I'm never going to touch that godforsaken game until it gets fixed. Because I've played a couple times on my wheel, and
we have Panda pushing the issue on Bob Drew here. I was on board with it. Panda just zooms right around.
Yeah, I played a couple of races on Ignition, and not even online, just in career mode, and because you can't adjust your wheel settings, if I race that game, I feel like I'm going to snap my wheel in half trying to fight the force feedback.
I'm on board with Bacher here. He's off all
to those
alone.
Viewers we have right now, go ahead and comment if any of y'all have tried Ignition. Let us know how you feel about it, because I don't see NASCAR Ignition 21 being playable. I think NASCAR Ignition 22 is maybe when the switch from Heat 5 comes. But that's all speculation at this point.
I just want to say I'm on board with Wide Open here at the moment, and I'm not quite sure who is in the lead. Don't have a ticker, as we was just talking about.
Yeah,
so
unfortunately our streamer lagged out earlier in the race.
Yeah, and
as Bob Drew got into Panda. I believe that sent Panda.
B-Stats and Travis running a good race here. Yeah.
Travis.
Oh wow, that was a heavy hit there for Travis.
A lot of issues there. Panda a little slow.
Looking like
that's a
that did
caution.
bring out a caution.
Oh, it did. So we're going to shake us up.
That was either caution
man.
or the end of the race. I'm not sure.
No, I believe that was probably, possibly a caution. I do believe.
If that was a caution, man, we hate to see that for Scoop if he'd have hung around and rode it out for a few more laps, you know.
Let's try to find B stats here. See where he's looking right now.
Yeah, he was involved in that accident right there
Okay,
with
so he
Panda
has-
and Travis.
yeah,
he
he
went
has
down into
those
the
in front of
grass
him.
to dodge it.
He has Twin in front of him here. I believe that was the end of the race.
Okay.
The way this is looking, yeah, the way they're going around. So that was the end of our race, and unfortunately, we was unable to know at the moment who won this. I've not seen a caution finish look like this on track, so that's why I believe that was the end of the race.
Yep,
And it was.
looks like it.
So we'll try to get our top
Oh,
five,
wow.
our winners and stuff in here.
Yep, I'm just trying to figure out who actually won.
Yeah, so we'll get all that for you. That was race
Yeah,
number
it
one
looks
from
like it was,
Chicagoland in the Hammerdown Racing Series for
I
the
believe
trucks.
that would be Death.
So
Death got
Death,
the win.
before Dishonor, has taken the win here in race number one.
Hey,
I
that
believe-
was Visceral Killer's pick there in pre-race.
So, yeah, Killer has 1 for 1 in his booth debut on
And
Pickin'.
unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get Death in here because Death does not talk. He does not have a mic.
Or just chooses not to use it. But we could get some fast guys in here. Maybe we
Yeah,
could
I'd like
get...
to-
Let's
I'd
get
like to
Twin
hear
up
from.
in here.
Yeah,
I'd like
get
to hear from
Twin.
Twin. I'd like to hear from Wide Open.
And try to get Scoop in here too.
Yeah, Scoop.
And Beast. Get Beast in here. He had a good
Yeah,
truck.
see if we can get Beast in here.
And maybe Bob.
Yeah, see what really happened there at the end of that.
So, are you guys...
I'm adding players right now.
okay.
Yep, Death.
All right,
With a
so,
58-point showing.
Where's our official... Here we go. Where's our official finishing line?
So I
Oh,
don't
here we
really
go.
have-
He got us. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the top 10 here. Oh wait, what was that? Oh no, that was the stages. Final results. Okay, here we go. We got Death obviously 1. He was followed by Twin in the 3 and Beast Stats in the 34. And then HDR Travis coming in 4th, and rounding up the top 5 is Killer Sean John. And then
There you go,
6th,
Killer Sean with a top 5.
yeah, and 6th through 10th
Smart
is going to
race all
be
day.
King Pile in 6th, who was my pick. Pigpen in the 00 in 7th. Wide Open in the 40 in 8th. HDRS Titanic Joe in 9th in the 18 truck. And then rounding up the top 10 and also winning a stage alongside Wide Open, it's Bob Drew in the 8 truck. So that is your top 10.
I can't get Bob Drew or Wide Open in here. I don't see them on my friends list, but I did send an invite out to Scoop and to Mr. Twoon here, and to Beast Stats as well. See if we can get them in here and tell us what they saw in that race. For the most part, I saw a very clean, very competitive race out there.
So yeah, we're waiting on who we thought was kind of our highlight drivers tonight. We're trying to get those in here to ask them what they thought about the first race in the round of 16 here in the Hammerdown Racing Series. So Death comes away punching his ticket, first driver to get into the round of 12. Next week, I believe this bunch is going to be taking on Watkins Glen, so that should be a fun race here in the trucks. Once again, I just want to thank you all for watching, commenting. Please like, comment, subscribe. Join Hammerdown Racing Series Facebook page for all updates, race winners, points, etc.
Yeah, I'm going to check that because the Trucks Series and the Cup Series run different races at some point.
Yeah, I believe that's Talladega Daytona. They flip-flop.
And also Canadian Tire and something else.
All right, here
Mr.
we are,
Twoon,
gentlemen.
you get a
Join
P2, buddy.
number 2. Yeah, Mr. Twin.
Thanks.
You got to be pretty happy bringing home that second place here.
Yeah, you let me down, Twoon. I said you were going to be my pick to win. You got second?
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Man, you said it right there. Like, I felt like I had a good truck to win, but then again, like you said, if I have like one incident, like bikers' rule of thumb every race is to keep your nose clean and try not few incidents as possible. Is probably going to be the best outcome of your race. And I like to apologize to Scoop. I did get into him a little bit in stage one. I'm sorry, buddy. But it was a good race and all in all.
Yeah, we got a Beast in here too.
Yeah, I want to ask Beast.
Third place truck, correct?
I'd like to ask Beast. Yeah, he's our third place finisher tonight here in the first round. Beast. So yeah, good finish there, man. And I'm going to ask you, what kind of strategy was you running there? You were pitting like 3 or 4 laps before most guys out there tonight.
Yeah, so my tires, the way it's set up, it was about 20 good laps, and then after that there was too much fall off to stay out. So, and then that last stage we had a caution right there the last stage we had a caution right there in the middle, and that kind of really screwed up the strategy. But luckily I got the free pass, so I was able to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, early race, you pretty much dominated that entire first stage. Do you feel like that fresh air made all the difference in this race?
Yeah, they kind of got bottled up off the start of the race, so I was able to get out to a good second lead and stay up there until the first pit stop.
Now, prior to that first pit stop, running out there by yourself for so long, what was your mindset on changes to your truck? Because at that point, you hadn't really ran side by side with anyone.
Right, yeah, I had already had a predetermined changes that I wanted to do, so I just went with those.
Third place, that was a really, really good finish. Yeah,
it was a great race by you, and then we got Scoop in here. Scoop, unfortunately, wasn't able to finish the race, but Scoop, you had a strong truck all night, man. We're always sitting here watching. Like, it's pretty bad when we're in the broadcast booth and we're saying Scoop's having a bad day because he's in 7th.
Yeah, it was a really tough night. I kind of stuck with the leaders there for a while, and then the later pack started to do their round the pit stops. It wasn't clearly indicated that if we were going to be pitting or if we were going underneath upcoming traffic, because there was a low touch, but it wasn't a clear underneath pass, so I wasn't unsure. And it pretty much bottlenecked everything, and I know there's not a communication with Death, and there was a statement that said there was a pit coming, but I couldn't hear it, and by then it was too late.
Yeah, we saw that incident when you kind of like dove down to try to hit pit road, and you kind of like, I don't know if it was like a late and had somebody underneath you, couldn't get down there, but then you got stuck in the grass.
Yeah, reacting to how everybody was kind of bottlenecking and seeing how things were happening in front of me, I thought I had time to maybe get a split-second decision, maybe pit with them. But by then I got damaged and I missed the pit, and so I had to take another lap, and it just kind of forfeit the night, unfortunately.
You had a good truck. I mean, you ran up front. You were able to hold off Wide Open, which was, we were watching it and we're just like, well, Wide Open knows a fuel strategy, so Wide Open's not really going to try to make the pass on Scoot, rather just like try to follow in his draft. And we watched you kind of go high on the exit at 2, and we were like, either he's tight or he's trying to force Wide Open to make the pass.
Yeah, I was kind of looking to see what would my things proceed. I know if once I got up to the lead, I know he's going to actually work with me once we got up to Bob Drew, and then after proceeding after that, it was going to be work after that. So I was hoping to kind of pull away and run a different line and make some changes to the truck to see if it could do anything ahead of the pack. And I did have a strong vehicle. It was just unfortunate, man. I don't know what the end result would have been. It would have been a strong finish, top 3.
No, if you actually stayed in, you'd have been all right, because I think like a lap or 2 after you left, a caution came out. Or no, it wasn't a caution. Never mind. It was the end of the race. We lost our only stream with Lando, so.
Yeah, we were riding blind from about midway stage 2 there.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of emotions kind of got into me a little bit tonight, and It was just unfortunate, man.
Yep. So, Stu, I think we can wrap her up unless there's somebody else joined in.
All right, I believe we have heard from everybody that joined, that raced. It was a great race out there, guys. Real clean and honestly real competitive there. Between 3, 4, sometimes 6, 8 trucks. I mean, it was ridiculous out there, especially in stage 2. So overall, race number 1 from Chicagoland, success in the trucks, and Death is going to punch that ticket into the round of 12. Once again, I want to say please like, comment, subscribe to Hammerdown Racing Series on YouTube. Please join our Facebook page. We stream Cup on Fridays at 9:30 and Trucks at 9:30 on Saturday. And for me, B-New Stu, and Jinx and Visceral Killer in the booth, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and making us a part of your evening. And tune in next week at Watkins Glen as we'll take off for race number 2 in the round of 16 and see who can push the ticket a little further, or will Death continue the dominance as he is the road course ringer in this series. So once again, thank you guys, and we're going to sign out.